Good morning, rise and shine, ladies and gents. Or should I say, bonjour. Welcome aboard. And we're on Boeing 777-200LR. This one specifically from Air Austral. This obviously doesn't exist anymore. I think she's moved on in life, and she's now part of the Dubai Royal Airway. But it's nice to do something a little bit retro once in a while and remember the planes that were and the planes that may no longer be. I think she's now A6 Triple H. So I'll tell you what we've been doing. It's been a long flight. We're I want to say about 10 hours something into the flight, and we've crossed practically over France, not south obviously, most of Italy, the Med, a part of Africa. We had to go past Jeddah for a little bit, and all across East Africa, and finally we are now about to arrive into La Réunion at the Roland Garros International Airport there. I think they've got a tennis tournament as well, so I think it's the same person. I can't entirely be sure, however. Brilliant. Let me see if I can show you what we've been doing today. I can. I will show you just now. Hold up. That's an EXC. That's the one. Okay. So that's what we've done so far. We've left Paris all the way down across the western coast of Italy, the Med, across Egypt. We went all the way to Jeddah there. Part of the Sudanese airspace is closed, which is why we went all the way to Jeddah and then into Eritrea and Addis Ababa. We had ETOPS here at this segment because Mogadishu is no longer available for a lot of aircraft. So that was a choice between Addis, Dar, and Plaisance, Mauritius. But obviously there were plenty of other airfields in the middle that we could have headed to, but that was a pretty interesting day. We are somewhere around here between Midri and Meva, just off the north coast of Madagascar, and then we'll commence shortly our arrival into La Réunion. I think it might just be a Réunion. No, it's Saint-Denis de la Réunion. Okay, so that's where we're gonna land. We can discuss the rest of that in the flight deck, and we'll head in there just now. We're past. We've had a wake-up call now. Captain Crew have come and woken us up. I don't know if these guys had a crew rest area or not. We're gonna pretend they did, but we've been chilling in Venice. Let's go to work. Struggling with the textures now. They're loading a little bit slow. So this has been the view for the past, I want to say 3 hours, just ocean ahead. And you can see bits and pieces of land as we go along. But off our right side there should be Madagascar somewhere. Obviously I can't see it. We have been flying for about, there she goes, 10 hours block since we left De Gaulle. And at Uvina, I think, is where we'll start the arrival. We got about 18.3 tons of fuel left, and we expect to touch down at Réunion with about 13.9. What else can I tell you? Aircraft's healthy, passengers are happy, and we're just gonna get into it. And it's basically just a chill session. We're gonna have my morning coffee, and we're gonna try get ourselves into Réunion. I have not been to Réunion in a very long time. The last time I've done this flight, I think, was, well, not specifically this flight, but a flight into Réunion was probably P3D days. So with the Quality Wing 787, I think that was it. Yeah, an Air Austral 787 into Roland Garros with the Quality Wing 787. It was quite a long time ago then. So let's see. We've got the headsets on for air traffic, but it doesn't seem like there's going to be any, so that's going to go off. Sorry. And I'll just talk you through the arrival as we go along. As usual, I'm struggling with audio issues. I've done a bit of cable management in and around my desk, and I still can't find a way to make this boom mic really work for me. So we're gonna have to come up with a different solution with maybe a longer cable and something that comes down this way, so that I can be heard. It seems like, I don't know, it's not the greatest. Every time I turn away, you're not gonna be able to hear me. So I'm gonna try to do my best to stay up this way. Okay, so let me show you, what else can I show you? Perhaps I'll bring up that moving map that seemed to have been popular. When I say popular, it's not like very popular, like 3 or 4 people said, hey, that's cool. So let's bring that back. Aircraft track up, and you'll be able to see roughly where we are, and I'll put up the Navigraph charts there as well as we go along. Let me make that daytime, and we can maybe change it to the world map, or maybe a satellite view. Yeah, I think this is nice. Let me transition that on. As you can see, almost there for me. What else? 44 minutes to go. I think that's appropriate. So I think what I can do here is set myself up for set arrival. And that puts us back in, excuse me, that puts us back in the territory of the plano. I like using Lido charts. They're what I use at work, so there's a familiarity with it. I can tell you here, Roland Garros in La Réunion, the wind is 090 at 13 knots, cavalcade 26 degrees, the altimeter is 1022. Pleasant day, really not much going on. 26 degrees, not that humid, very nice. 090 at 13, the wind's going to be blowing in this way direction, coming in from the east. Looks like there's an ILS approach into Roland Garros, so we'll probably end up doing that. Just before we do, however, we want to take a look at the NOTAMs on the flight, make sure I haven't missed anything that specifically removes ILSs of the lot. There's a couple of changes to the minima for LNAV, VNAV for category A, B, C, and D aircraft, along with the RVR requirements to do set approach. But I don't see anything else, so it looks like a pretty clean airfield to fly into. In terms of the arrival process, I think it's safe to say we're expecting to fly, well, let me see what runway that's going to be. On the facility chart, it looks to me that we're going to end up flying a runway 14 approach, which then gives us the ILS. 14 is a bit shorter than 12, but also gives us the cleanest exit onto the ramp. If we were to take runway 12, we'd have a long way back. I'd say 1230 is 12 is probably used more for departure, whereas 14 for the arrival. So we'll take runway 14 with the ILS. Explains why the ILS is built there as well, I suppose. Just before I carry on, we're going to take a look here. There's only 3 pages of AOI, so we're going to just jump through it very quickly. A380s are obviously allowed here. I believe for a short time Air Austral had leased A380s from High Flying Malta, maybe. Max 250 below 10, alright, that's okay. Aerobatics along runway 12, okay. Alright, copies are mandatory for landing at night, and yeah, not a lot to talk about. Runway 14, slightly beyond, okay, no problem. So, I think we know then we're going to plan a runway 14 landing. Could be the Zulu, could be the Yankee. This is the Zulu, that's a conventional navigation, whereas Yankee has a little bit of an RNAV part to it, ACNOR, TSOP and AirDip, which I think is going to be most likely what we're going to fly with modern aviation, you know. And that's going to come out of an RNAV star as well, and Uvina to TSOP, perfect. Pretty much a straight line, no restrictions, TSOP 3 above, max 220, that works for me. And then we'll go on to the ILS Yankee, starting from TSOP, which is 14 miles away, max 220, perfect to get there. And about 9 miles we want to be flaps 5, 10, I don't know, we'll see. But decently slow enough to capture the glide slope. Minimums we're going to use is going to be 330, but we'll see. Simple approach lights, yeah, nothing fancy. In case of a missed approach, just straight ahead, and we'll make a left turn at Echo 410 to Lacaz, and then back to Okna below 3000, max 200. So we'll keep our flaps in for the turn. And once we're on this downwind area, we'll speed up and then get to Okner. And is there a hold at Okner? Probably. If not, we'll go to T-Sop to hold, see what the situation is while we've gone around. And the alternate airport is Mauritius. In Mauritius, let's see what the weather was like. We're using Navigraph for that. In Mauritius, the weather is similar, pretty nice. So nothing to complain about. It will be a nice, chill flight and landing. I'm going to go ahead and set that up now into the FMC as discussed. So we have some sort of, so it'll tell us when it's time to descend. And there was the Uveno, was it the 5 Echo or 2 Romeo? That's going to be the 2 Romeo, I think. Uveno 2 Romeo, that's it, the RNF. And let's see how that looks. Uveno T-Sop, excellent, that's what we're going to do. Gonna go one better, and I'll do 180 below at Okner. Top of descent is a little bit further away. It's just past Uvena, so we'll be able to plan a nice, based on it, not a lot of turns, not a lot going on. I think we should be able to plan a nice, healthy 3 degree glide all the way down, an idle descent into at least until platform halts you. I think I should be able to manage that. Should be able to manage that. That's that nice steady 3 degree glide. But I'll tell you how we're going to do that, and we'll see if it works out for us, you know. That being said, I prefer to be a little bit more conservative these days, rather than what do you say? Rather than pushing it. Excellent. What we can do next is performance calculations. What we need. This is set up for the 777-200 LR. And as we're going to land it, well, I'm telling you we're going to land at Roland Garros now. I think we said runway 14 for the arrival. 14, yes. The gradient is different, yeah, so it has all the gradients available, I'll tell you. So Alice Yankee runway 14, we are doing 330 based on the fact that we can do a 5% go around gradient. And this takes a look at can we do it in case the engine has failed. So we're going to take a look now. Based on the planner, the weather was 090 at 13 knots. The outside air temperature is 26 degrees. Well, I didn't press that somewhere else. 26 degrees. The altimeter is going to be 1022 hectopascals. I'm sorry, I don't have an Android. I'm going to have to close this. We'll do a flaps. Let's see what flaps 25 tells us. Bleeds on, anti-ice off, all brakes, no non-normal checklist, speed brakes are auto, and yeah, let's go. I want to see what idle reverse gives us and then what full reverse will give us. We need a landing weight, and for that landing weight I'm going to have to do a little bit of math, and we can do that math together. So what I need to do is I need to jump into the FMC and see what I'm landing with. 13 tons, which is 4.2 tons lighter than what it is now, which is 204.2 at the end. 204.2. It's going to make it 205. I mean, if you can do it at 205, you can probably do it at 204.2. Ah, foot's sake. I don't know why it keeps coming up. 205. An extra zero there. It's a 777 after all. And let's calculate. I really like VPT. It's nice to play around with it. Seems kind of realistic. We spend a lot of time thinking about performance. Yeah, I like it. So here we have auto brakes 2 says predicted in-flight field length exceeds landing distance available. Let's see what the runway graphic looks like. So auto brakes 3 will get me a stop on the runway. Bear in mind that's to a full stop. And let's see where I actually want to exit. Kind of want to exit on Alpha, which is about 2,000 meters down that way. So I'll need something better than auto brakes 3. That tells me Alpha is here, so that's almost max auto, which I think is excessive. But pay attention here. Distances. Auto brakes 4, 2058, 3 is 2400, and 2705, alright? That's with idle reverse, and this is the time it needs you to wait before our next for the fuse plugs to melt. Of course, if it doesn't melt in this time, you should be good to go. So if I were to go full reverse, if I understand it correctly, the distances won't change. All that changes is actually how long you need for the brakes to cool, because what the auto brakes actually do is it commands a deceleration rate as opposed to a brake pressure, which is quite interesting, I think. Let's see. And you see there, I mean, the times here, no procedure required, no procedure required. They've reduced this. Max manual, auto brakes 4 and auto brakes 3 still require, and max auto requires still some waiting time. But if you look at the graphic, the actual distances are still the same. All that's changed is the waiting time. So it depends, like, you know, if you have a quick turnaround, maybe then you don't want to do it, or yeah. But either way, I think flaps 30 today is gonna do better for us. We'll go full reverse. It's humid, tropical kind of climate, so, well, not really humid, but yeah, let's go full reverse. It's gonna look cooler, sound cooler. We've arrived, you know, so that's what we're gonna do. About 160 miles from top of descent, so we still have time to chit-chat a little bit. Auto brakes 1 and 2, field length exceeds available, so we know we're not going to do that. It's still kind of tight, huh? Even with full reverse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go auto brakes level 4, see how that plays out after landing, and if required, we'll give it an extra nudge here on Alpha. If it seems like we're missing Alpha, we'll just go to a turn pad at the end, turn around and come back. I'll be unfortunate. So it's going to be a flaps 30 landing with auto brakes level 4. I don't think I've ever used level 4. So it's something new, it's going to be exciting, it's going to be interesting. Auto brakes level 4. And we said it'll be flaps 30 for the landing. And we are also able to use the minimums of 330 after all. Minimums 330 set. Alright. No times were checked, everything was checked. You guys know how we're going to fly. What I'll do is I'll tune in a radio frequency here for Roland Garros. Specifically, I'm looking for what I can use that's going to help me get a precise DME distance. So there's one available, co-located at the field, 112.9 La Réunion, and that's going to be Sierra Delta Golf, the identifier. So I'll tune Sierra Delta Golf here. And how I'm going to do the descent is going to be whatever the VOR DME is, times 3 is what I need to be at full level. So if it says 120, I want to be at flight level 360. But we can duck under that a little bit because there's going to be some time for deceleration. And we want to make sure we get it into Roland Garros on the first try. It's not going to be a smooth landing. I've learned my lessons with 777s. I've been trying to ease it into the ground, and then I always end up floating or going back in the air, so I'm just going to plant her in and then hope for the best. And while we wait, I'm gonna try see if I can show you a quick external view of our aircraft. Before we do that, I need to turn this down a touch because ears are gonna pop. So we're gonna go from 12 to 36, and let's go see what the plane looks like from the outside. So this is her. If I'm not mistaken, this is the only 777-200 LR ever registered in France as a well, the only 777-200 LR ever registered in France. It's pretty cool registration as well. It's Foxtrot, I don't know, LR has LRA and LRB, I guess, as it goes along. It's going to do something like that. This was Aerostral's second foray into 777. I think they also had a 300ER at the same time. But the backbone of the fleet is now the 300ER and the 787, so it's not really needed. This was the only one that they had. Then it went to Comlux Aruba for a few years, and then it finally found a home again at the Dubai Air Wing, and she flies as A6 Triple H now. I don't think I've seen the plane. I think it's interesting if you do see it, because you'll notice it's a 777-200 LR pretty quickly. And then you'll realize the Air Wing doesn't really have 200 LRs, and then, yeah, well, we do actually now. So that gives you, well, that's a history of A6 LR, sorry, Foxtrot Oscar Lima Romeo Alpha, the only one, and I think it had the pretty cool little tail livery with the designs on it. On the moving map, if you are watching on a bigger screen, you'll be able to see some of the arrival information that we talked about. I'll set that up for us now, and you'll be able to follow the star, albeit in what do I say? It's gonna be in my word, I can't speak English. It's gonna be in the version of Navigraph charts, right? So that's there, that's available for you should you wish to see it. Excuse me. I think I can come by a bit later, right, when we get to Uvina, because I think it's just taking up space at this time. There we go. It's a little bit of, there's a small circle there that says France. I mean, half of the Indian Ocean probably says France at this point, but yeah, half of Africa probably. We need to free ourselves, people. We need to free ourselves of France. While we wait, checklist. Yeah, it was the last one that I'd done. Recall, I actually haven't checked that. Let's see. Cool, nothing to recall, everything is okay. Notes, didn't really see any notes, yeah, so that's fine. Outer brakes are level 4. We got landing data VRF and minimum. So landing data VRF is going to be 137 and minimum's 330. 137 and 330, that is set. Approach briefing completed to a great standard. As the descent checklist complete. So we are ready to descend. We've got another 10 minutes or so before we need to. So I'll throw us back onto some cinematic views of the aircraft. Let's see what they come up with. And while we wait, I'll go get myself a quick refill of my coffee. Thanks. Alright, sawadee cup, guys. Thank you, Stingy Parapatsin. I know where I can get the free viewers, but I'm not really into that. I'm just here to chill. So thank you for the input. I'll bring up the moving map again, so we can see where we are. We are almost there, ladies and gents. Almost there. I'll start to send shortly. Let me zoom it in a bit more so you see where we are. To be fair, Réunion is a lot closer than I expected to Mauritius. So now that we're here, what I can do is I can turn on failures, yeah, because why not? Let's see what kind of failure that the airplane comes up with, and we'll deal with it on the arrival. So it's a random failure, yes. Limit events per 10 hours. Let's say 5 events per 10 hours. Limited events, no. Okay. So now there's a pretty decent chance that we get. So if it's 5 events every 10 hours, that's what do you say? 1 event every 2 hours. That's us going into FME in about 30 minutes now. So that's a 25% chance of us getting something on our arrival, which I think is a pretty decent chance. If this was IRL, I'd be doing everything I can to try and make that chance something like 5%, but you kind of want to deal with something a little bit exciting today, right? I still haven't gotten used to looking down. I still keep looking up at the ND, but now I have some screens here. Feature the PFD, the ND, and the ACAS here at some 9 o'clock. So for the landing, this is going to be my view, and I'll put the PFD up there for you guys to follow should you need to. We can step outside now and start peeking at traffic to see if there's anybody in and around the area that might be a concern to us. For us. Film to Paris, Captain Dijon, Mauritius 16. In Saint Denis, there are a few people. There is a helicopter operating around. It looks like there's going to be a Airbus 220 flying in as well to Saint Denis, and there is a 777 preparing to depart, Air France 647. So I think those guys might be in contact with us. So I'll definitely have my headsets. Oh, this is broken, is it? Quality is not really a thing these days. Excuse me. Yeah, quality is not really a thing these days. I said Air France 647, and that's Foxtrot Hill, which is the helicopter. Is probably it looks like 647 is already pushed, so they'll probably be airborne by the time I get there. Then there's Réunion 106 and Réunion 105. All right. Traffic is ready, so we're probably going to have to talk to them based on where Réunion 106 and 105 are. They are probably going to be already on the ground by the time I get there. Oh, it's actually a little busy. Oh no, that's going to Mauritius. Okay. So headsets on for the arrival after all. And ooh la la la, we can see in the distance Réunion. So we should also be able to see Mauritius over there. This is a good time for me to educate myself about Roland Garros. Who was he? What did he do? And why is there an airport named after him? French Open, Roland Garros. So I assume he's a tennis legend, probably from La Réunion. Ah, excuse me. I'm still dealing with some sinus issues, so yeah. Eugène Adrien Roland Georges Garros, French aviation pioneer and fighter pilot. Okay, he's one of the earliest fighter pilots during the First World War. He was born in Réunion, which explains why the airport here is named after him. I just don't understand why the tennis... Ah, so the stadium was named after him and then the tournament came after, so then that's why. Okay, explains it. Alright, so we haven't got a DME distance yet from the airport. But to me that means I'm just going to start descending at top of descent. We have an FMC message, reset MCP altitude, fair enough, shall do. Having reset it now, say 20, those guys were 23,000, so I'm going to go and set 24,000. And when the aircraft's ready, she'll commence her descent on her own. Or should, theoretically, commence descent on her own. Maybe there's a way for me to put up the other guys who are gonna be in our way up here. So you see the traffic in pink, other guys who are in the way. Huh? I think my sim is stuck. Oh, I managed to pass the sim through Volanta. I didn't know that happens. Okay, so it's unpaused. Here we go. That was new to me. I was surprised. I'd always seen the button. I thought I meant pause tracking. Ah, there we go. Sierra Delta Golf, 128 miles. For me, that means let's go now. Now. So, this is a difference from real life and how the sim does it. In the real world, excuse me, in the real world, the distance at which you get the VOR or the DME information is dependent on how much power is in the VOR or DME. Let me close this. So the more power you give a VOR, the further out you can receive its range, provided it's still line of sight, right? So there are some VORs that you can receive at 200. So if it's on a mountain and you're at 390, you're probably going to receive it from further away because it's better line of sight, right? And more power. But if you wanted to, even if you had line of sight, but you wanted to make like a terminal area VOR, you could reduce the amount of power that the VOR gets, and then you would get less distance. But I noticed, however, here on Flight Sim, they always seem to kick in at about the 120 miles mark without actually any concern about whether they are actually high altitude VORs or just regular VORs. Okay, now without unpausing the sim, I'd like to see if this traffic still remains a concern. So it looks like they're probably not on VATSIM, just doing their own thing together, I guess, while on Volanta. Alright, that's good. So the little A220s from Réunion shouldn't be a factor. But I'm gonna check the, excuse me, I'm gonna check the VATSIM map just to be sure. Yeah, absolutely no one. Just the Air France 647 who's departing Saint-Denis for Paris. I'll give them a heads up. Saint-Denis, La Réunion traffic, Réunion 974 is about 100 miles to the north, inbound for the Isles approach, roadway 14, Réunion traffic. Alright folks, it's gonna be just me and the math. So 100 miles from Sierra Delta Golf, I want to be at 300, so that's flight level 300 that we just passed, just a bit below. That's good because I need something additional to lose all the speed that we have here and get into a landing configuration. So this is going well. I'm not entirely sure why a moving map disappeared, but it's back now. And there you have it. There's no restrictions anywhere. You can see as we get to TSOP, nothing to report. Then on the ILS, Yankee I said it was. Also nothing to report. So I'll zoom these in as we get there, if I remember, and you'll be able to follow the progress. Nope, not this one. You can show me this. Excellent. As we get to the orange ring here, I'll zoom us in and we should see. That tells you how safe it is. So within 25 miles of TSOP, 3000 in this quadrant, 7.7 in this quadrant, and 12.2 in that quadrant. So it gets pretty high pretty quickly. So let's see what Réunion looks like. I'm quite excited for it. Can't remember for the life of me. Prevent leveling off, we'll select something lower, all the way to 4,000 feet. I'll bring the sim sounds back up so we can hear the airplane again. I was certain I'd see Mauritius here, but it's missing. Maybe I'm seeing shapes. I don't know. So if I understand it correctly, Réunion and Mauritius, slightly different islands. I believe both of them came out of volcanic activity, but Mauritius has sunk back quite a lot, and it's left its protective barrier reef around the island. So how it works is like the volcano comes up, and after a while it erodes and goes away, but it leaves like the reef still on the end. And so for that matter, Mauritius is actually quite a lot of shallow water around the airport. It's got around the island, and it's got a barrier reef protecting the whole thing. Reunion, however, doesn't have that. If I'm not mistaken, it's still relatively volcanic, and it well, the water drops pretty deep pretty quickly, which makes it one of the shark capitals of the world. Like, it's great for surfing, also great for sharks. And I think for a while people were forbidden from swimming in it just because of how prevalent the shark attacks were, whereas neighboring Mauritius barely got anything, and I'm pretty sure a shark could easily swim this distance. I like sharks. Alright, so here you can see that the VNAV calculated path has caught up to me, and in fact is saying that I am 60 feet too high. That white line there is me, that pink is the calculated path. So he's like, yeah dude, you're a bit too high. And saying 62, 64, and that number's rising-ish. I suspect that's because of the turbulence. You can see how the speed is kind of fluctuating here. Oop, what is that? So I think that's probably why. But again, not too fast. That's something we can solve with speed brakes. And again, we're looking at here. The next, what I'm looking for is at 60 miles. 60 here. I want to be below 180 because 6 times 3 is 18, 18.0, and 180 here. There you go. So at 63 miles, I'm at 180. So I'm actually a healthy bit, in my opinion, below the path. And I think at the end, the VNAV will catch up and tell me the same. I was going to do something. I don't know if I set up the transition level. Transition altitude is 1-2000. So it's fair to say maybe the transition level is something like 1.3. Yep, that's there. 1022 hectopascals. It's pre-selected. Does it go into both sides? It does. Well, that's Saffron 647. They've left. They're 14,000 feet now. We might have them on our TCAS at some point. There they are. They're about 300 feet below us and climbing, so should be no factor. I hope it isn't. Brilliant, we have 1,000 feet of separation already. I'll get the seatbelts on at this time. Transition altitude, sorry, level. We'll set altimeter is 1022, which is set. As you can see here, the speed is slightly out of control. She's really diving for the path at the expense of the speed. So we need to keep an eye on it. Alternatively, because there's nobody else, I'm gonna go ahead and open the speed and do 300 knots. So she's gonna manage that for me. I don't know what the message was, probably something along the lines of drag required. And then that transitions onto VNAV speed. So it's decided, hey, I'm not going to look at the path anymore. You asked me to look at the speed. So she's going to adjust the pitch accordingly for the speed at 300 knots. At this point we'll get the landing lights and all the lights on as we get lower. We're about 40 miles from the airfield and we need to be at 12,000 feet. We're at 10.5, but we are fast. Faster than we anticipated. We're supposed to be at 280 knots. So we're a touch fast. At TSOP we need to be above 3,000, so I'll set 3,000. I think it's time we transitioned onto the approach charts. I'll zoom that in as we get closer. Slow the aircraft down to 250 knots. Set. About 34 miles to go to the VOR, so that should be 10.2. We should be at 10,200 feet. We're at 8,600, so we are below the profile, but not really descending as much. Excuse me. Not really descending as much as we try to reduce the speed. Slippery plane. Reunion traffic, Reunion 974. Boeing 777 is 30 miles to the northwest, inbound to TSOP for the ILS approach, runway 14. La Reunion traffic. Excellent. We can go ahead and do a checklist now. Cabin's ready. We can do the approach checklist. Altimeters 1022, 1022, and 1022. Approach checklist complete. Next one remaining is the landing checklist. So this arc here tells me I'm going to be at 3,000 before TSOP because 3,000 selected, and it expects me to get there, that arc just below TSOP, just before TSOP, sorry. After TSOP we'll be on the ILS, so I'm allowed to go all the way to, well, I'm still supposed to maintain 3,000. Okay. So when we get to about 5 or 4, we'll start reducing the speed, so we'll have a nice clean speed reduction as well. Excellent. About 5,000 feet, let's go ahead and set the flaps up speed, which today is at 217 knots. In the meantime, we'll check in the PFD. Sierra Delta St. Denis is the ILS frequency, and yep, Sierra Delta, the identifier. We have it active. I'll also go ahead and on the approach mode, so the aircraft is ready to catch the ILS when it accepts the signals. That's why you get these little ghost pointers, white and white. At this point, I'll select flaps 1. She's gone to speed and VNAV path, which is not what I want. I'll let her continue on vertical speed at 1,000 foot per minute while continuing to reduce her speed to the flaps 1 speed. Well, I think 1,000 foot per minute is ambitious for her, so maybe 500. Alright, ladies and gents, I'm going to be at the landing pilot view from now on. As you could probably see on your map there, we're just about to intercept at TSOP and grab the beam from the airport into final. Let's see if there's anybody around. Nobody. Well, I'll make an announcement anyway. Radio traffic, Radio 974 Heavy is 15 miles out on the localizer runway 14. Landing runway 14, Radio traffic. Brilliant. Take another notch of flaps in my future. So I've selected flaps 5 coming down. You're just gonna have to trust me here. Yeah, flaps 5, green light. And I've selected speed 180 knots. We'll maintain that to a 10-mile final. Excellent. So we know we're established. I am now going to get rid of the moving map and I'll put something else so you can follow the progress. Enjoy the view. Let's record this as well. I mustn't forget. Gear down. Flaps 15. Glass clips captured. Mr. Perch altitude 3000 is set. Flap 15 speed set. We'll go a step further, flaps 20.
$2,500.
Can see the airport straight ahead of us. It's been a while since I flew a 777, so I'm probably going to disconnect a little bit earlier, and then I'll blame the landing on the weather. Really windy, huh? I'll go with the final notch of flaps, which is flaps 30. Flap steady is in place with the green light. We'll set the approach speed. Because the 777 has dual channel auto throttle, we only go VRF plus 5 regardless of the wind. If I'm correct, I don't think I am, but I might be. So, last checklist to do is the landing checklist. Landing checklist complete. Everything is set. Allez le bleu. There's no easy way to position this. Okay, wish me luck.
1,000.
The autopilot has been disconnected. Autopilot disconnected, yes. No flight directors only. As previously briefed, I'm gonna slam her in. Because I have a history
Approaching
of
minimum.
floating on 777, so I'm gonna try avoid that on the short runway.
Minimums.
Continue. I got my eye on the glide, got my eye on the poppy. Things are looking good, things are looking smooth, things are looking okay. Runway 14,
100.
landing.
50. 30. 20. 10.
Manual braking. Welcome to Reunion. So we managed to make the exit that we wanted. It's a slight uphill, so let's keep that momentum going. No, that's a decent uphill. We need more momentum. Bienvenue à la Réunion. A little fast for the turn here, but that's okay. Expect it to be a little bit more of an uphill. And gonna really bring her to a slow crawl here while I finish up some of the items I need to do. I'll bring the maps back so you can see where we are. I'll start doing some flows. Those can go out, don't need those, don't need those, don't need those. We can start the APU. Flaps, they can go all the way up. Terrain display can go And this can go on to standby. Now we need to find a place to park. What's a good parking stand? On the civil apron south, anywhere from 8 to 4 I think is a good spot. So let's see what GSX has for us. And I'll take a look at your messages now. Minus 212. Nice. Thank you, Dummy 1808. X1 Charlie. Oh. Let's go to ramp 5. It's a heavy ramp with a jet bridge. But I was pleased with that. All things considered, was nice. We're not going to do the shutdown checklist, and we're not going to shut down the engines, just because I'd like to see a replay of how it happened, of the approach. So stand 5 is the 4th one from here. And we're going back downhill. It was stand 5, wasn't it? But a fisherman. Yes. Stand 5 is ours. Crossing 6. Step on the brakes. Taxi lights can go off, and they're waiting for us. I have to remind myself we are a relatively long airplane. I think this should cut it. In fact, I think this is a bit less to turn. Let's see. Oh. Actually overshot a bit. Okay. Pas un problème. Let's listen to Hermione. Did I come to a stop? No. Sometimes this is more difficult than landing. Thank you, Hermione. Parking brake set. And at this point, AP running, we'll shut down the engines. Hey! Excellent, yes. We shut down the engines, hydraulic pumps, seatbelts, beacon. But we're not going to do all that. We're going to throw on all the lights here. Make sure we are at flaps full, which is what we had for the landing. I'll disconnect myself here from the network, and I'll tell you what Volanta thinks my rate of descent, sorry, touchdown rate was, because there's a little bit of difference between what I use and what between the two stuff that we use. So Volanta says I landed at 52 foot per minute. Let's see what the replay has to say. We're waiting for the flaps, and in the meantime I want to see how it looks. Did we actually park okay? No, we parked deep. Come on, Hermione. We need to stop there. We can also go ahead and turn off the APU, because that wasn't running when we did the view. And for the landing we can use maybe a chase view. I think the other side might be nicer, because we'll get to see... Actually, I don't know. I think we should see a bit of the sea, right? So that's it. That's our view. Maybe a little bit quicker. Let's... Okay, maybe this for the view. A touch higher. Alright, yeah, this is it. This is our landing view. I'll get rid of the moving map. I'll get rid of my face. Thanks for joining, guys. Hope you had a great morning. Hope you had your coffees. Thanks for joining in for the stream. And it's free play time. I think after all, maybe you want to see a little bit of the island itself. So I'm going to move this over to the other side very quickly. A little bit of the island, a little bit of the sea, and a little bit of the... Have a great rest of your day, ladies and gents. Thanks for joining. Ciao, ciao.